Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
As the Lok Sabha polls draw closer, we can only expect political speeches to get more acerbic and to get more stinging. And that is precisely what Prime Minister Narendra Modi's speech in Parliament on Thursday was. He spent about 2 hours talking in Parliament as a motion of thanks to the President's address, and in that he touched upon a range of issues, but most importantly launched a scathing attack on the Congress, on the opposition parties which are trying to come together and forge an alliance against him, while listing out what his government, or what he claims his government, has done in the last 4.5 years. He called the opposition parties, their alliance, maha, milavat, and said this maha, milavat, which he was of course trying to insinuate as being an impure, adulterated coming together of parties, would not be acceptable to the people. He said now that the 4.5 years of this government were over, people had seen what a strong majority government can do, and now they would not want this motley coalition of parties, a loose coalition of parties. Effectively, this is the narrative we've seen the PM adopt in the last few months, and this is what was seen in Parliament as well, where he features or where he tries to sell this narrative of a strong, decisive government under him versus a loose coalition which can collapse any minute. In fact, to that effect, he also attacked Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress, the DMK as well as TDP, saying they were betrayers. They were earlier with the BJP and had betrayed the BJP, and now could possibly also betray this opposition alliance. For the Congress, the PM spent a sizable part of his speech attacking them, condemning them, and claiming that their 55 years in power were really about satta bhog, through which he tried to insinuate that they were power hungry, whereas his government believed in selfless service of the nation. He also said that the Congress, the 55 years of Congress rule, were defined by inflation, but defined by corruption, defined by corruption mainly in defense deals, as well as destroying institutions. He took the Congress head on for the allegations against him that he was messing with institutions and he was destroying them, saying it was a Congress which had imposed the emergency and it was a Congress that had really destroyed institutions in this country. Well, all in all, we can say this was an out-and-out campaign speech by the Prime Minister. He may have been speaking in Parliament, but this was no different from what he does in rallies and from what he does in his public meetings. Clearly, the floor of Parliament also has now become a platform for political parties to campaign, with Lok Sabha election barely months away, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi took the full opportunity to do that. In fact, he went to the extent of addressing the youth of the country directly, the first-time voter, and saying they ought to know what the country was like in 55 years under the Congress. And this was, of course, his youth outreach. We know the BJP believes that the youth are popular, the youth think Modi is a popular leader and they're an important vote bank. So this was a complete election speech, a complete campaign speech. And now let's see how the Congress really gets back at Modi outside Parliament or in the remaining days of the House. Also, given that this is the last session of this government, this could possibly have been PM Modi's final speech in his current term as Prime Minister in Parliament. For The Print, this is Ruhi Tiwari.